I love this. This is one of those moments where the mask kind of slips. And I love that it happens on Fox News, Fox Business, I guess. During a discussion about Donald Trump's tariffs and the stock market with Fox Business host Stuart Varney, Stuart's guest goes completely off script and kind of accidentally tells the truth. And it's not like reframing, it's just reality. And what his guest essentially says is that if the Supreme Court rejected Trump's tariff strategy, markets would be happy. It would be good for stock markets if that happened. And what this guest is acknowledging is that the best thing for the American economy would be for a court to say no to Donald Trump. Take a listen.
Ironic, isn't it, that the president is proposing tariffs on reluctant Europeans who are reluctant to support us on Greenland. At the same time, our Supreme Court could strike down the whole idea of tariffs.
That's correct. And I think crazy. The market would actually be quite happy if the Supreme Court rejected Trump's current tariff strategy, the tariffs that he imposed. I think it would be a positive for the market. It would curb Trump's ability to surprise markets, to surprise business leaders, and that would mean less uncertainty. That would be better for the U.S. economy, believe it or not.
Wouldn't there be sudden chaos on the market in a ruling like that?
Well,
because we've got to give back all the money we've got from imports.
That's about $200 billion or so that they took in tariff revenue. That's quite manageable. The Supreme Court might also add that the U.S. Treasury can keep that tariff revenue at the same time, sort of like a compromise. And let's not forget how damaging. Trump is stressing affordability, with the upcoming midterms. And my goodness, tariffs, they don't reduce prices. If anything,
Correct.
They put upward pressure on consumer prices. And look at that 10-year Treasury yield, 4.3% almost. Yeah. So we've looked at the return of a 30-year mortgage yield above 6%. That's not helping affordability on the housing front.
This is not the analysis you typically hear on Fox News or Fox Business. And you can tell that the host there, Stuart Varney, didn't really expect this. And he couldn't spin it into 4D chess by Trump, so they ended up just moving on. The devastation that this implies is significant. Trump's tariffs were sold to us as strength and toughness and America First leverage that would put us back in the driver's seat. But even Trump-friendly analysts know that these are chaotic tariffs. Markets don't fear high tariffs nearly as much as they fear unpredictability, and Trump's tariff policy is totally unpredictable. Threats one day, reversal the next. We've been doing this since April 1st of last year. New tariffs announced on social media. They're delayed, they're reinstated, then they're expanded. Then Trump says it'll be tariffs in exchange for Greenland, or it'll be tariffs in exchange for the Nobel Peace Prize, or whatever. If you're a business, you can't plan around that. Investors can't price it. Supply chains can't adapt to that. So what does the market want? It wants a Trump that is constrained, that is not going to be doing this tariff stuff. It wants rules. It wants a process and predictability. And in a sense, a market might prefer bad policy to random policy, or policy that makes a 180 every single day or every other week. And that's why they are saying the markets would celebrate if the Supreme Court were to say no more tariffs, not because the court is anti-Trump or the guest is anti-Trump, because the whiplash is crazy. Trump's own supposed allies understand that his economic strategy is not a strategy. It's impulse and it's grievance, and it is dominance theater masquerading as policy. We were told many times Trump's erratic nature keeps allies on their toes, and it makes them fall in line, and it makes them work with the United States, be more willing to accommodate the United States. The opposite is happening. Since Trump took office, it's been the opposite, as the U.S. is increasingly excluded again and again and again from these deals as Trump makes the United States more difficult to deal with. And so they have trouble defending this policy, even on Fox News. You get rid of the slogans, and what's left is higher prices, market volatility up and down, and global retaliation and circumvention of the United States. So when we hear a Fox guest go, oh, it would be a huge relief to the stock market if Trump were blocked, it's very far from a gaffe. It's not what you would expect on Fox, but it is a confession that the economy is not stabilized by this policy. And if you are an average person concerned about housing prices or meal prices or education or whatever it is, there is no way to argue we have benefited greatly from this Trump tariff policy. And I've challenged MAGA people before on that, which is, tell me who is really happy about these tariffs. Is it manufacturers? Is it service providers? Is it people who work in a certain industry or live in a certain part of the country? There is no constituency that is benefiting